Hi, I'm Ben Mankiewicz. Welcome to TCM, where we're honoring writer and director David Lynch with a lineup of his feature films. Lynch died in January at the age of 78, 4 days before his 79th birthday. Over the course of his career, Lynch only directed 10 narrative feature-length movies, but he was a far more prolific director than that number indicates. When you count music videos, short films, TV episodes, and commercials, Lynch's directorial efforts are in the hundreds. And during it all, Lynch also worked as a painter and sculptor. He was a Renaissance man in the truest sense of the word. By the way, someone on YouTube has compiled 30 minutes worth of Lynch's television commercials, and it's definitely worth your time if you're a fan of Lynch's work, and you ought to be. In the meantime, we have another David Lynch feature up next. From the Samuel Goldwyn Company in 1990, Wild at Heart. It's a film that joins Terrence Malick's Badlands and Steven Spielberg's The Sugarland Express in the subgenre of movies about dangerous lovers on the run. Wild at Heart is based on a novel by Barry Gifford. Lynch read it before publication in 1990. The book's original title was longer. It was called Wild at Heart, The Story of Sailor and Lula. It's a story of two young lovers torn apart when Sailor has to serve a prison sentence for a violent crime. When he gets released and the couple reunites, they decide to skip out on his parole and head across the country to start a new life in California, and that does not sit well with Lula's mother. Lynch knew right away that he wanted to adapt the novel, make it his next film, and he also knew exactly the actors he wanted to play the star-crossed lovers, Nick Cage and Lynch's Blue Velvet star Laura Dern. Once they were on board, Lynch wanted Cage and Dern to serve an integral role in bringing the story to life, so he sent them on a road trip together from L.A. to Vegas so they could bond. Then Lynch encouraged Cage and Dern to improvise freely during production. Reportedly, they improvised entire scenes. There are a number of familiar faces from Lynch's Blue Velvet in Wild at Heart, including Isabella Rossellini, who was in a romantic relationship with Lynch at the time. You'll also see Lynch's longtime friend and collaborator, Jack Nance. Rest of the cast includes several actors from Lynch's television series Twin Peaks, as well as Willem Dafoe, Harry Dean Stanton, and Crispin Glover. And playing Laura Dern's mother for the first time on screen, her real-life mother, Diane Ladd, who earned an Academy Award nomination for this performance. From 1990, David Lynch's Wild at Heart. Though Wild at Heart is based on a novel by Barry Gifford, David Lynch made significant changes to the story when he wrote a screenplay. He killed off characters who didn't die in the book and added others, including the girl fatally injured in the car wreck. He also gave the film a happy ending. In the novel, Sailor and Lula do not end up together, but Lynch believed the book's ending was too bleak. Lynch came up with the Wizard of Oz sequence to give the couple the ending he felt they deserved. Cage and Dern each enjoyed working with David Lynch, and in the days following Lynch's death in January of this year, they shared their thoughts on him. Cage said he never had more fun on a film set than David's, and he went on to call Lynch solid gold. Dern, who worked with Lynch on several more film and TV projects, penned a tribute essay to Lynch for the Los Angeles Times, where she called him art's greatest dreamer, as well as her dearest friend. Ahead tonight, another David Lynch picture, his 1992 prequel to his landmark television series Twin Peaks. Twin Peaks, Fire, Walk With Me, is next on Turner Classic Movies.
Next on TCM, Twin Peaks, Fire Walk with Me, then Eraserhead, and later, The Wagons Roll at Night. Stay up late with TCM Tonight.